The honourable member for Nanaimo Ladysmith.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I am honoured to stand in the House on behalf of Nanaimo Ladysmith. Honored to stand in the House on behalf of Nanaimo Ladysmith to speak to the benefits of heritage conservation, energy conservation, and job creation. New Democrats have long supported Canadian heritage, and we support this private member's bill goal of preserving historic stock. New Democrats support maintaining historic buildings as part of our cultural heritage, and due to the cost of repairing these historic buildings, we support government involvement to help defray the costs. This helps clear the path for the creation of good green jobs, jobs that are stable, safe, and family supporting, jobs that do not endanger the climate or the environment, and that help us in the gradual transition away from reliance on fossil fuels. I want to thank the City of Nanaimo, which I'm honoured to represent, for their very detailed letters supporting the benefits of Bill C-323, an act to amend the income tax for the rehabilitation of historic property. Chris Scholberg, who's a planner with the community and cultural planning in the City of Nanaimo, wrote to me to say that the bill is inspired by the successful U.S. federal historic tax credit program, the outcome of which has leveraged over $78 billion in private investment since 1976, resulting in the preservation of over 41,000 historic properties and in the creation of hundreds of thousands of housing units, many for low and moderate income families. They write, in Canada, Bill C-323 has the potential of achieving the same success, widely affecting property owners and developers, the construction industry, and positively impacting the economy, job creation, and environmental issues. The tax measures contained in this bill, the City of Nanaimo writes, they would transform the economic fundamentals for renewing historic places and will encourage building conservation of every size and type, from landmark commercial buildings to modest homes. The City of Nanaimo provided examples of buildings within the city that would benefit from such an incentive, including the Great National Land Building, which is on 17 Church Street, the Occidental Hotel, 432 Fitzwilliam, also known as the Oxy, Nanaimo Fire Hall No. 2 on Nicholl Street, the Nanaimo Hospital, now called Malaspina Lodge on McCleary Street, and Fernville, also known as the Land Residence on Irwin Street. Now, I thank the city for their strong advocacy and their encouragement for this federal partnership that could help jobs and preservation of historic buildings at the local level. I also received a letter encouraging support for this bill from Chelsea Chalice in Nanaimo. She writes, as a member of the development and construction industry in Nanaimo, I regularly witness historic properties being demolished because the cost to restore and maintain them is more expensive than tearing them down and replacing them with new buildings. The unfortunate consequence of this method is that the city immediately loses a piece of its history that can never be replaced. Furthermore, with current building codes, regulations, and the high cost of construction materials, new structures cannot be built with the same charm and craftsmanship as many historic buildings originally constructed with. The current system does not encourage architectural preservation, but rather encourages demolition and replacement. Bill C-323 will give owners and developers an incentive to save and restore their historic properties, which will not only benefit them, but also benefit the entire community. She references that studies that show building rehabilitation generates upward of 21% more jobs, including skilled jobs, than the same investment in new buildings. She adds to the list that the City of Nanaimo provided the Gene Burns building, recently destroyed mostly by fire in downtown Nanaimo, and also the first Nanaimo Scout hut. I'm very grateful to members of my community who have provided letters of support. I will note that we also have a letter that I just received this morning from Laurie Gourlay writing on behalf of the Salish Sea Trust, who encourages us to specifically address rehabilitation of historic buildings with all of the cultural, economic, and social benefits that provides, and inviting our attention to the parallel benefits afforded when similar consideration and support are provided to cultural and natural rehabilitation measures. So we thank the member for bringing the bill forward. We will look forward to speaking further when we have the second hour of debate on this bill about some of the specific benefits on jobs and environment and conservation in our own community, and also some of the concerns that New Democrats will raise at committee about ensuring that this benefit is particularly targeted towards the lower and middle income earners who are particularly economically crunched when it comes to finding budget for doing the kind of conservation and heritage renovations that this bill supports. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.